Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm Crystal and thanks for hanging out with me. My drink of the day is actually tea in one of my, if I can turn this around without spilling it, one of my Castle mugs from the TV show Castle. I am not feeling well, like I have a cold. Sorry to sniff in the middle of that. Evidence of the cold. But I didn't want to drink any alcohol to exacerbate that problem. So tea it is. So what I'm bringing to you guys today is a recent bunch of purchases I made on the Makeup Geek website. But it wasn't like I ran around the whole website and made a bunch of, did a bunch of stuff. It was just like, it was two things, but a lot of things in those two things. So this is the new contour powders, and this is in the shade Breakup for Cool Porcelain. So Marlena announced a while ago that she's been working on contour powders, so I've been waiting for these to come out because I don't contour often, and that's because I have a really hard time finding something that actually works with my fair skin tone. Most of the things that I can find, at least very easily, are either too dark or too warm. I have, when it comes to contouring, like my undertones need a grayish contour instead of a brownish one. And a lot of the time, if I go look for something to contour with, there again are not a lot of powders like specifically for contour that are in my shade, or they're not in singles. They're in like a group of, it'd be like a contour palette, which, because again, I'm so fair, like I don't need those darker shades. It just doesn't, they aren't something I would ever use. So I don't like to buy a contour palette. So when I have looked in the past for individuals, because I don't just want to blindly, randomly buy without, having a good bit of evidence to do so. So I trust Marlena because I love Makeup Geek products, and she is also pretty fair-skinned, although she does use a darker contour powder than I do. But I wanted to be sure that I was gonna get something that would work for me. So I waited for them to launch these. Again, like I said, this is what it looks like. This is obviously just the pan. They don't have these out in compacts yet because they wanted to get them launched and they didn't have the packaging done. But I'm gonna swatch this for you, and you can see it's a really it's specifically to be a cool tone, and it's got a lot of gray in it instead of, the brown or orange. So on my hand, first of all, they feel really soft. They're really nice. And this is what it looks like on my hand. You can see it does, it obviously creates a shadow, but it's not so harsh. So I'm excited to try them out, and hopefully it works out well, because to be honest, because I don't contour much, I'm kind of shit at it right now. So one of my goals is, now that I have a contour powder that I think is actually going to work for me, I am going to be doing it more. Completely separate from that, I just remembered, so I've talked about this big mess back here before. I'm in the process of working on the other rooms in my house, and this room is kind of where stuff goes right now until I get the other rooms ready. So it's got a lot of stuff in it that's not meant to be here. But like I said, I'm in the process of working on that, so in the relatively near future, you will not see the treadmill right there. It will be somewhere over there. It may still be in view because I'm not positive about the dimensions of the room because I'm not good at that kind of thing, but at least it will not be right behind me. It's easier to film in here because there's a door to shut, because that way I can keep the animals out, which makes things a little bit easier, because inevitably the dog will start barking because she likes to do that. She's good at that. I forgot to mention that the individual contour pans, like this one, they're $10 each. They will probably be a little bit more when they have the compacts, because they typically, at least that's how her blushes are, like they're cheaper if you just get the pan like this. They're a little bit more if you get a compact. So Either way, it's a really, in my opinion, it's a good price for a high quality contour powder, because one of the things that Marlena tries to do at Makeup Geek is, you know, she uses really high quality ingredients. You know, they're essentially high quality products at closer to a drugstore price. So because of that, they are really a lot more affordable and a lot better quality. And what that really means for me is that, so because I mentioned before, I have really sensitive skin, and a lot of the time, if I get something at the drugstore, and it's not just the drugstore, but it's a little more frequently at the drugstore, I never know like what it's gonna do on my skin. You know, with higher end products, you can kind of guess based on the ingredients that are listed, and if I've used that product line before, you know, that brand or whatever. The drugstore, you know, things kind of vary. So I am more of a high-end purchaser just because the ingredients are usually better and a little less harsh on my skin. Anyway, so the other thing that I got was the new matte eyeshadow bundle. So what Makeup Geek has done is they have some new colors in here, and then they took a bunch of their previous colors and reformulated them and re-released them, along with, again, some of these new colors. So a lot of these colors were ones that I had been eyeing to buy individually anyway. And at some point it becomes like, well, first of all, it's cheaper to buy the bundle if you're gonna buy a ton of the shadows anyway. And there's just a lot of variety of colors, and it's a really good value. I got, let's see, I have to look at my receipt here. I got 20 pans for $110, which I know probably seems a lot since I mentioned they're more of a drugstore price, but again, there's 20 of them. So that averages out to $5.50 each pan. They normally retail for, I want to say $6.99, I think. It's either $6 or $6.99, something like that. And so you're getting a discount on them, obviously, and again, because they're really high quality, I don't have to worry about, and I have other Makeup Geek shadows, so I don't worry about them irritating my eyes or being a problem for me. So I'm just going to show you, I took most of these out of their packaging already because from experience, they can be a little troublesome to get out of packaging, and I am not great at getting things out of packaging anyway. I end up like throwing shit all over the place. So this is what it looks like. This is what they look like in the package. It's really cute. I love the, you know, the striped little chevronish kind of thing. And then on the back you have the ingredients list, and then the name of the color right there, and then you know, a little flappy thing to open up, and that's how you get it out. So these are each 1.8 grams or 0.064 ounces of product. So it's a good size. These, I believe, are on par with the size of like a MAC shadow. So I'm not going to swatch all of these for you because you can actually go on the Makeup Geek website and see swatches, but I'm going to go through the colors and just kind of show you what they are. If I don't, I'm trying, like, seriously, I'm throwing packaging all over the place already. So this first one that I just pulled out of the package is Fairy Tale. So this is a purple color, and it's really pretty. It's like a lilac. I enjoy it quite a bit. This is one that I have been looking at to purchase individually. Next up, I'm just grabbing I just set these down in front of me and I'm just picking them up in random order. The next one is Americano. So this is, I have a couple of other browns from her, like I have Cocoa Bear and Mocha, I think, because I bought like a starter set bundle. So I wanted something that's kind of in the middle, because Cocoa Bear is a little bit, it's on the warmer side, and then Mocha is just really, it's a lot darker than Cocoa Bear. So I wanted something in between. And again, I've been looking at that for a while. Yeah. Next one is Bedrock. So Bedrock is just like a taupe. It's a pretty basic color, and I mean, there's nothing special to say about it other than it's going to be a good like crease or transition color for me because it's like the right tone for me. Up next is Booberry, and I believe that Booberry is a new one. I could be wrong. It's just a really pretty, kind of a darkish blue, but not too dark. I think it's gonna, I like the idea of using it like under my lower lash and like in my outer V. And as you'll notice, like these are in a lot of different color range. So most of the matte shadows that I have are in the neutral to brown range. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to get this bundle as well. It's because I wanted a nice variety of different kinds of shades to work with. Because I don't want everything on my eye to be, you know, a shimmer or a glitter. Obviously, you don't want everything on your eye to be a glitter for most days. But I needed some, you know, kind of nice colors that were not going to be shimmery to kind of mix in with the stuff that I normally wear. Okay, the next one is Carnival, which is relatively new, I believe. I don't think that this was introduced with this palette or packet, bundle, whatever you want to call it, but I think it is a newer shade. It's really pretty. It's like it's another purpley shade. And again, like my descriptions, I'm terrible at describing colors, so you guys can go on the website, which I'll link this whole bundle below, and see the actual description of what the color is supposed to be like. Because if I describe all of this shit to you, this video is gonna be like an hour, and Lord knows we don't need that. Next up is Cherry Cola. So Cherry Cola is like a kind of a red-brown color. It's really pretty. I've seen like Jaclyn Hill use this, and it just looks gorgeous. So I'm excited to get that one. Next is Concrete Jungle, which is this is like a darker taupe color, kind of. Again, it'll be like a good like blending or crease or transition shade. Up next is Confection, which is kind of a pinky color, and that's one that will be good for like an all-over lid or like transition up to my brow bone kind of thing. This one is Curfew. Again, it's another purpley. Next we have Dragonfly, which is this gorgeous green color. Let me just pull this one out. Like I'm in love with this. Look at that color payoff. This is one that, okay, man, like I want a nail polish in that color. I want a shirt in that color. I don't know. I want other stuff in this color. So I'm gonna swatch this one on my hand here for you. And you can just see there's no primer on my hand. And just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Like, I just love that. It's really pretty. After that, I've got Enchanted Forest. So Enchanted Forest is like a deep green color, and I mentioned before, I don't wear like a lot of darker greens, but I need to branch out, so that one will be good for that. After that, I've got Fuji. This is like, it's showing up a little different on camera than it is in person. This is like the color of kind of like a green apple, I guess you could say. It's really pretty, and I'm excited to wear that one as well. Again, just I need to branch out in the kind of things that I do. Next one is Mirage, and this one is from the Las Vegas collection, I believe. It's like a sand kind of color, and again, just a light, you know, you never have too many transition shades in my opinion. I can't anyway. The next one I'm actually really excited about. This is Morocco, and I think I've mentioned before that I like orange shadows and eyeliners and that kind of thing. And so this one I'm excited about because it's orange. Next up is Motown, which is this beautiful dark purple. There's nothing more to say about that. Up next is Petal Pusher, and this is a newer color to their collection. I believe this is one that we as a fan base got to name. She recently released, she released pans, you know, she showed the color in the pan and gave us all the option of putting in name. I say us like I didn't do it. I didn't participate in any capacity. I just like the colors. After that, I've got Sorbet, which is a lighter color. It's kind of pinkish. Again, it doesn't quite show up the same on camera as it is in real life, but that's the color that it is. Up next is Stealth, which is kind of like a steel color, I guess you could say. I like it a lot. It's gonna go nicely with those Maybelline, with the gray Maybelline that I mentioned in one of my hauls. This one is Time Travel, which is like a dark, just like a blue. You can see it there, and then this is what it looks like on my finger. It's really pretty. It's like a blue-green. When I swatch it, it's got like a bit of green to it. Or maybe it just looks green because it's next to Dragonfly. I don't know. But I like it. I think it's really pretty. and will be good for like a smoky look, because I don't like to use like blacks for smoky looks. I like to use other stuff just because I like to be different. Yes, I don't have any explanation. And then the final one is Vintage, which is just a nice, you know, like purpley, browny, sort of, I don't know how, again, I'm not good at describing this stuff. It's a really pretty color. It's gonna be good to go with the rest of them. So that's the end of all of those, and most of them fit in. This is probably, this is not a Z palette, but this is probably would be considered a medium size if it were a Z palette. I got this off Etsy. So that's the end of this today. I hope you guys liked it. Like I said, I will link these below, and they're also available individually if you don't want to buy the whole thing. I just have no restraint, so I buy bundles instead of individual shadows. So I hope you guys like them, and again, I'm a big fan of Makeup Geek. I would definitely recommend their products. I have a bunch of other eyeshadows from them. I have a blush, at least one blush, maybe more. So I'm just always excited to expand my collection. So anyway, hoping I'll feel better in the near future. And until next time, thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.